Ladies and gentlemen, we take pride in presenting a thoughtful address by Ronald Reagan. Mr. Reagan.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you and good evening. The sponsor has been identified, but unlike most television programs, the performer hasn't been provided with a script. As a matter of fact, I have been permitted to choose my own words and discuss my own ideas.
The president's troubles with the teleprompter, well, they don't seem just to go away.
Economy.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, the president needs, I don't know if he has it, he always needs the script in his hands or in front of him.
Like what we have right here.
Right.
I recently have seen fit to follow another course. I believe that the issues confronting us cross party lines. Now, one side in this campaign has been telling us that the issues of this election are the maintenance of peace and prosperity. The line has been used, we've never had it so good.
Look at the Affordable Care Act as a whole. It's good for the economy and gives more choices to people.
Isn't the report basically saying that the Affordable Care Act will have the impact on the labor market of reducing full-time employment by 2.5 million jobs over the next 10 years?
Don't! The report finds that there will be less, that workers will choose to supply less labor, correct? It describes that as a choice. Again, it's not that the businesses are cutting those jobs.
If you're losing that many jobs, and I'm really just trying to understand this here, if you're losing that many jobs, regardless of why you're losing them, doesn't that have some kind of negative impact on the economy?
Don't! Two things. One, just a small picky thing. It doesn't say losing jobs. It says FTEs, so to some degree this might be somebody who used to work 60 hours because they needed health insurance and that was the only job that offered it, and now they can get a different job at 35 hours that doesn't offer health insurance, but they're getting it through this, and they're switching from one to the other, and that's a better choice for that person, and this has given them that option that they didn't used to have. As I said, you wouldn't judge whether Social Security and Medicare are good or bad based on what they do to labor supply.
The economy really sucks. Now, I hate to point fingers at anybody, but the President administration probably has a lot to do with that. And the way I see it, they're not going to quit doing it until they bring this country to its knees. So I think we should all rise up and we should stop this administration from what they're doing because they're destroying this country.
The Nobel Peace Prize winner has just announced and authorized that he has told the CIA that it can assassinate American citizens.
I have two words for you: predator drones. You will never see it coming. You think I'm joking?
You are unable to give a simple one-word, one-syllable answer, no. I think it is unequivocal that if the U.S. government were to use a drone to take the life of a U.S. citizen on U.S. soil, that would be a deprivation of life without due process.
But I have an uncomfortable feeling that this prosperity isn't something on which we can base our hopes for the future.
They are Obama's favorite weapon: unmanned aerial vehicles, or drones. What's next for these robots of the battlefield?
This is the step desk, is what we call it, and the operations supervisor is in charge of all of the missions that go on.
Was that a civilian car on the road?
It is a civilian car here in New Mexico.
So you're training with locking on civilian cars?
We're able to track them. We do not simulate or actually engage those vehicles. It's just simply to train them to be able to follow a moving target.
With or without their permission?
They do not know that we can see them.
There's no trial here. There's no judicial determination. It's some bureaucrat or team of bureaucrats that says, we have determined that that guy is guilty of terrorism, therefore we have a right to kill him.
So the president says, look, These people are on the list? Is that what he does?
What the CIA does, and it doesn't happen very often, what the CIA does is they go into literally to the president, and they have a list of all of the things that this person has been charged with, and they have all of the, not charged with, not indicted.
And he signs a death warrant.
He signs a death warrant.
Yes, our president has a hit list of American citizens like you targeted for assassination. And there are indications that the list of Americans targeted for assassination is growing.
Well, we all know that their definition of terrorism in every government, every dictatorial regime, inevitably starts going to the area of people who criticize what the government's doing.
So I think we should all rise up and we should stop this administration from what they're doing because they're destroying this country.
I have 2 words for you: predator drones.
Arguing against it, arguing against the immorality. Ultimately, they start seeing those people as the enemy, people that need to be taken out. I mean, this power is the power that the Chinese communists wield, that the Soviet communists wielded, that they wield in Burma, North Korea. That's now a core feature of the U.S. government.
We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening.
And who's the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks?
Russell Wilson.
Who's the quarterback for the Seahawks?
Russell Wilson.
Who's the quarterback of the Seahawks?
Russell Wilson.
Okay, let me ask you something that may actually matter. Do you know the Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution?
God, this is embarrassing.
Can you name the First Amendment to the Bill of Rights?
No.
All right, do you guys know the Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution?
Oh, God, I'm embarrassed about it. Yeah. I should know that.
Can you name any 2 of the Bill of Rights?
Oh, now you're...
You wanted something harder. Come on now.
The Bill of Rights.
What is the Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution?
Seahawks win.
Seahawks win? What about number 1?
Seahawks win.
Seahawks win?
You really need 12 now. Come on.
We do not know this. We only know about football. We don't care about the Bill of Rights. Whoever created the Bill of Rights. Only football. That's it.
Who's the Vice President of the United States?
I don't know.
Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the Founding Fathers. Not too long ago, 2 friends of mine were talking to a Cuban refugee, a businessman who had escaped from Castro. And in the midst of his story, one of my friends turned to the other and said, "We don't know how lucky we are." And the Cuban stopped and said, "How lucky you are. I had some place to escape to." And in that sentence, he told us the entire story. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.
What you see with people is that they're desperate to hear what they want to hear. For people to say, "Oh, no, these conspiracy theorists, they're all crazy, you know, they're all paranoid. It's not really going on. It's ridiculous. And this is done to protect you. This is done for you. You know, we're the government. This is why we're doing it. You know, watch the telly. There's a game on in a minute, and you'll be fine. And we're just going to build another concentration camp, okay? See you later."
Take you to the FEMA camps being built by Halliburton right now to house 50 million Americans. They're building enough concentration camps in America.
I will not be in a FEMA camp. Before you put me in a FEMA camp, I'd rather be dead and in my grave. I will not go to a FEMA camp. I will not have my constitutional rights circumventing and cut off by these faggots in the these White House niggas is all they are. I will not have that happen.
I have 2 words for you: predator drones.
Now the NRA is engaging in a campaign, which is, I'm not unaccustomed to, of disinformation to try to scare people. Let me read some of the things they're saying about background checks. They say, quote, "We, the federal government, want to put every private firearms transaction right under the thumb of the federal government and keep all those names in a massive federal registry." Kind of scary, man. Black helicopter crowd really is upset.
Yep, that's the view outside my window. Oh, there's another one coming in.
Thank God for George Washington. Thank God for patriots. Thank God for Thomas Jefferson. Thank God that they weren't cowards. Thank God for Patrick Henry. Give me liberty or give me death. Don't give me this hogwash of the conservative Bill O'Reillys, the Rush Limbaughs, or the Glenn. Don't give me that hogwash. Give me a rifle and give me a position, and I shall march. I shall march until my feet are too tired and weary. I shall march until this nation is returned. I shall march. I will not be a victim of martial law.
For UN peacekeepers to learn urban warfare, they're learning urban warfare, and they need to learn English and U.S. weapons systems. We're having foreign soldiers learn our U.S. weapons systems.
What you're about to witness is the most terrifying breach of sovereignty you could ever imagine. Chinese warships invited into Pearl Harbor.
Well, I think as we advance our bilateral relationships with China and their Navy, we're rising to the occasion. These challenges include humanitarian assistance and search and rescue missions, some of the missions that we're going to be training to this week.
So I'm on one of the UN websites right now, and I thought we'd take a little look around. United Nations Office for Disarmament Affairs. Ooh, and they got New York up on the map already. They look proud of that. Oh, yeah. UN Disarmament Commission. Conference on Disarmament. Disarmament Fellowship Program. Oh, wow, they have a whole legion of unelected bureaucrats to try and take away the backbone of our Bill of Rights.
Here are more foreign invaders being called in for the upcoming martial law to disarm and kill off the American patriots.
And consist of personnel from Brazil, Canada, Jordan, Norway, Poland, the United Thailand. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look to the north end of the harbor, it looks like an enemy vessel.
And yeah, here we are, sitting before our flat-screen television, driving around in our F-150s, thinking that somehow or another Bill O'Reilly and Ted Cruz is going to save the day. You done lost your damn mind. We need a revolution.
In your apartment!
I am in my apartment, sir.
Go back inside right now!
I am inside. This is my door. I'm standing right inside my apartment. Sir, I'm inside my apartment.
And now you're about to see British and American troops parading around in Russia, broadcast on Russian television. Attention, we have been compromised.
На Красной площади офицеры и солдаты вооруженных сил Соединенных Штатов Америки. Они представляют соединение, участвовавшее в открытии Второго фронта в Европе и в известной всему миру встрече с советскими войсками на Эльбе.
We need a revolution in this nation, and not just a revolution of arms. We need a revolution of the mind. We need a revolution of people beginning to understand, what the hell am I doing voting for this person and listen to this news commentator and praying that this legislation will get passed, or somehow or another thinking that the Republicans are better than the Democrats. You need a revolution of the mind if you think that one is better than the other. They're all sellouts. They're all making millions of dollars. They're all a White House niggas. That's all they are. All these politicians, whether it be Ted Cruz or whether it be Barack Obama, they're all White House niggas. That's all they are. They're all puppets of the same new world order. We need a revolution in this nation, and we need it now before martial law clamps it down once and for all.